can have a different or a wrong view about web development. That's what I'm trying to clear first. Okay, it's not as if you're doing major thing. We are not writing code today, of course. So I'm just trying to clear, just like the person asked about domain name now. We'll get into that. I'm just trying to like clear the air on some of these things. I don't know if you're getting me.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I get you, sir. But what I'm saying is the questions should come after the class. It should come after the class, not within the class. I understand you perfectly, sir. After the class, they can put down their questions, then they ask after the class.
Okay, hi everybody. Good evening. This is Goodness. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you, Goodness.
Okay, I don't want anybody unmuting their mic again. Yeah. Please, for now, let's keep calm. Let our facilitator do his work, and then you ask questions. When he asks, if you have any questions to ask, please. Let's just give him time to glance what he has or what you have. Then we'll now ask questions. All right, so that we don't make this class noisy.
Okay, thank you for that, Goodness. Okay, so to further explain things out, like when I mean like someone mentioned too, when I mean economic now, I mean you can write your code, right, and see the results without like connecting to the internet. You can see it on your browser. So front-end web development now is about what the user. Why are people still unmuting themselves? I don't really know. So front-end web development is about what the client sees. The client now is the user. So you can call it the client or the user. They are the same thing. Okay. So it's about what the user sees. When you open a website now, all those things that the user sees is what a front-end developer creates or develops, right? That's what the person develops. How you, just like for instance now, your Facebook, okay? The pages you see and interact with are what concerns the front-end developer. And we also have back-end developers. Those ones now, they create the things you don't really see. Just like when you log in, you don't really know what happens when you input your username and password. All you see is either you're being logged in, right? Or you're being given an error message, maybe username incorrect or password not correct, right? You don't really know what goes on behind the scene. This is the work of the back-end developer. So before now, we have a web designer, a web developer, right? And inside web development, we have front-end and back-end. Then we also have full stack developer who does the front-end and the back-end. Now the web designer is like just designing just like an architect, right? They just draw the house, how it should look like. Okay, then the engineer goes ahead to hire laborers to build or replicate the drawing. So that was the work of a web designer then. Okay, then a web developer will like put those things into code and make it a working website. But now I think the line is very, very blurred. Okay, these days what you get is a UI UX designer, and a web developer, right? Now, when it comes to UI UX now, they play the role of the architects I mentioned earlier. Okay, the architect, the UI UX designers, they design how the website should look like, the way it should look like. The UI is user interface, that's the full meaning. Then the UX is user experience, that's the full meaning. Okay, so after they design or they do their job, then the web developer, the front-end web developer, as the case may be, or the back end or the full stack, does their job. So the front-end web developer replicates the design, right, to make it live. Then the back-end developer does the behind-the-scene jobs, like when you enter your username and password, it goes on to be checked in the database whether if this person has an account here, right? If this person has an account here, then log the person in. So that's the work of the back end. They do mostly the things you don't really see, just get the results. Okay. So, but in this program, yes, you can actually go from front-end web developer to back-end web developer and to full stack. Okay. Going into back-end, you just need to know the basics of front-end. That's where you want to measure in. At least you have to understand how the front-end works. Then you can then go into back-end, or you can be a full stack developer, as the case may be. But mind you, this thing doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight, okay? It takes dedication, consistency, okay, for you to achieve this feat, okay? And yeah, every one of them is relevant, and you can earn a living. You can make a life out of any of them you choose. But the most important thing is for you to like get good in one. So you don't just jump from this to this. You have to really be good in one before you can move on to the next one, right? So yeah, in front-end development, like I mentioned before, is what the user sees. And yeah, the three major things is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is what we are going to be. We also do it. Yeah, it's part of what we are going to do in the program. So, and you find out that front-end web development is not just about writing codes. There are some other things we consider. Okay, there are some other things we consider. Just like somebody also mentioned, I mentioned responsiveness. Responsiveness now, I mean, when you say a website is responsive, like when you view it in any device you have, it will still look good, right? There are sometimes you might not have access to your laptop. Your laptop might be down and you access a website with your phone and it will still look good. It doesn't look scattered. That means that website is responsive. It can adapt to any screen or device. And when you call screen now, you are referring to the device the person is using to access the internet. It could be a mobile phone, it could be a tablet, it could be a laptop. And yeah, some people have a larger screen. Their laptops might be 17 inches. Some people use larger monitors, right? If you go online and check for workspaces like software engineer workspaces, and some people have a larger screen. So you can see that this website also adapts to any screen you open them on, right? So that's the responsive part of the website I talked about, okay? So there are some other things we'll also be touching that is pertaining to web development. It's not just writing code, okay? You don't just jump in to write code. You might build endlessly. When I mean endlessly now, you might build till, maybe if it is something that should take you a month or 2 weeks to build, you might end up building in 3 to 4 months, which is not really good, okay? So yeah, we'll be touching on those things. Then there are also tools using front-end development, right? Like we have Git and GitHub, right? We also be able to host our projects, yeah, at the end of the program. So we know from scratch how to build and how to make this the project we build available for anybody to see anywhere in the world. It's a gradual process. Start from the scratch. Okay. And what else have I not taught? That's basically some of the things on how it works. Okay. So I believe maybe in our next meeting, we should have these tools I mentioned, the VS Code, the Visual Studio Code, and our editor. We should have it ready. Okay.
Okay, I don't know. Mosh, I don't know if you can show them how to download all these things, where to get it from, resources on how to install these things so that they don't like draw us back by tomorrow.
Okay, though I've showed them before, but I can still show them again. Like I said, if you go to your browser and type VS Code, to bring you to this very result page, click on this first link to bring you to the official site. This is the official site for Visual Studio Code. So it's called for short VS Code. Okay. So this is the one we are going to be using. Yeah, there are other ones too, but I think this one is the most popular. Okay, so we're going to be using this one. Then for the browser, we'll be using Google Chrome for it. I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to download the Google Chrome.
Yes.
From here, you can see the download. So that's the 2 major things you need to download for our program. Okay. So yeah, that's the 2 major things we need to download for our program. So like I said, come with your energy and excitement.
Sorry, can we use our phone?
To code?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Please stop interjecting. If you want to ask a question, there is a raise up your hand emoji. Please use it so we are orderly in this place. I'm begging in the name of God. Stop interjecting when someone is speaking, please. And for us that our mic is on, Amobi, Chidubem, and the rest, please turn it off. Please mute your mic.
I've tried turning this up here, but okay, thank you for that. So yes, these are some of the things we should be expecting from this program. So we learn from scratch how some of these things, how you can get up and running a website, right? So I don't know. Okay, Obi Chidema, you're raising your hand.
Please, I can't even see your screen. Since I log in, just blank. your name is just showing. I can't see the screen.
Okay, I just stopped sharing now. I was sharing my screen before now.
Maybe I came late, but I just logged in now and I can't see anything.
Yeah, I just stopped sharing now.
Okay.
So you said?
How am I going to know the place to download the website now since I didn't see the screen?
Okay, calm down. I will go through it once more again. Just hang on.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so Godswill, yeah, you're raising your hand.
Yes, sir. Please, sir, I want to ask. One is to ask if these sections will be recorded. One, because for some persons, one will need to go over it again before the thing will stick very well. Then another thing I want to know is that, you know, these classes from the timetable I saw is actually from 8 p.m. So I want to know, is it possible for one to follow it with phone during the day you practice with your system, or are we meant to bring our system alongside and we are following the class with you, or we just learn, later on we do the practice? Because some of us where we are, you know, sometimes light might not be that friendly, but you can actually have a way to charge your phone, follow it in the morning, you do what you need to do with your system, and then return back with your phone so that one doesn't have challenge. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. First of all, it's recorded. Yeah, every classes will be recorded. Okay. Then for your second question, I will advise you come to class with your laptop. Okay. I'll advise you come to class with your laptop. That way, you can be following up with the things we are doing. If you have any difficulties there and there, we address it. So nothing can beat practical, right? Then if there's no way you can join with your laptop, then you can, compromise with your phone. But it's very important, believe me, if you don't come with your laptop, you'll be like left out or you'll be missing in the things you're doing. So it's advised you come so you participate along with what you are doing in life. Okay, Chiamaka, you're raising your hand. You can bring down your hand now. Okay, Chiamaka, yeah, you're raising your hand.
Okay, good evening. I was wondering, like, is it compulsory to use Visual Studio Code? Because I use Sublime. My laptop, I have to update it. The window I have cannot carry Visual Studio Code. It's not opening on my window.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Sir, I'm using Mac. I'm using MacBook. So, like, I don't know that because I have like I do practice HTML and CSS. So, and to be honest, this lecture is mind blowing. So I'm asking whether is it only Visual Studio Code that can only work on Mac, like an other playground work?
Okay. Yeah, Amaka, any code editor, you can use any code editor, Sublime Text here. But for this program, we'll be using Visual Studio Code. Okay. So I don't know how you follow up, but if you're using any code editor, be it Sublime Text, you still achieve the same thing we're achieving, just that it might really be lost somehow if you're not using the same code editor, though it will give you the same thing. Okay, so that's the issue. I don't know how you cope with it. But since your laptop is not accepting Visual Studio Code, if you use Sublime Text, you still achieve the same results. Okay. And yeah, the person who is using Mac, I think Mac accepts other other code editors now. It can also accept Visual Studio Code. So when you open the site, it should automatically detect your operating system. That's the Visual Studio Code. That's how it should work. So okay, Kingsley, you're raising your hand. Kingsley, are you there? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
First, I want to ask if there is any system that we put in place to compare the activities of people this I2 know, because they really discuss this class. That's one. Something like a penalty.
Bye.
Hello.
The audio is bad, Kingsley.
Kingsley, please, your audio, could you drop your phone or your laptop in a place so to stop making that noise? Or we could come back to you later if you're not yet ready for your question.
Okay, that would be better.
Okay, I think we should go with J-Cube next.
Yeah.
Good evening. I did not really get the one of the two. I heard VS Code, but I did not hear the remaining one because I joined late. I didn't hear what you said about what we are working with. I just heard VS Code. I did not hear the remaining one.
Okay. Okay, I talked about the two major things we'll be using. That is your web browser and then code editor. The web browser now being Google Chrome or Firefox, but we are going to be using Google Chrome for the program, right? And the code editor we are going to be using code. That's the VS Code. So that's the one we are going to be using. Like I mentioned before, we have different code editors, okay? We have different code editors, but for this program in particular, the Visual Studio Code is what we are going to be using. Yeah. So, Jelio, I don't know if I got your name correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, correct. Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, the question I want to ask is the other guy has asked, but I just want more clarification. Like now, if the class is going on and peradventure we are not with our laptop by that time to follow up with the class, so by the time we are charged to work on the laptop with what has been done in the class, if one or two things, like if we are not getting it right, is there a way to come up to you to ask for more clarification? Like most of us stays in Lagos, and even by 8 a.m., we are still in the buzzer and hustle of Lagos State. So I cannot be in a hold up while I'm in class and still working with laptop by that time. That is not possible. So maybe when I get to at midnight while I'm trying to go through it. So if I'm not getting one or two things correctly, is there a way to come up to you for more clarification about it?
Okay. Yes, I'm always available for your questions, for your clarifications, for anything at all. And we also have mentors too, right? We have mentors too, like you have a good number of them. And you can also reach out to, in case maybe the person you're reaching out to is not really replying at that time, you can reach out to any other mentor. Okay, but yes, you can reach out to me with all your questions anytime.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Godsent.
Sir?
You are raising your hand.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, okay. your lectures are great, honestly. Yeah, we all appreciate. Okay, so there is a question I want to ask. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so you said that in terms of front end that it requires HTML, CSS and JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, can I learn JavaScript without learning HTML? Because like normally on the normal ground, I am learning HTML and CSS and I'm almost done. But what I'm asking now is, can I learn JavaScript first without learning HTML and CSS? Is it possible?
Okay. Okay. Now, JavaScript alone. Like you need to learn HTML and CSS. That's the simple truth. For JavaScript, you need to know, because the JavaScript now is about basically now, what JavaScript does is to add liveliness to your HTML and CSS. I don't know if you're getting me. HTML is just like the skeleton of a human body, right? The bare skeleton. The CSS is like the flesh, the skin, right? The skin color. Some of let's say for the ladies now, the human hair. Those CSS is like beautifying the human, the skeleton. You get. Now, where does JavaScript come? The human being can talk, the human being can walk, the human being can run, the human being can eat. These are liveliness or interactivities within the human body. That's where JavaScript comes in. So you see, JavaScript cannot do without the HTML and CSS. So it's important to learn the two before JavaScript, because that's what adds liveliness to your HTML and CSS. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Igwe, you're raising your hand. David.
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, what I just want to ask is every day, what will be the duration of the class? Do you understand? Like, I just want to know the duration of the class, so we'll get prepared and planned why I'm coming to the class. So I know how many hours I want to spend. So I'll know everything I need to
Okay,
do you understand?
let me answer this instead. So good evening. That was David, but was it coming from David?
Yes.
Yes, it's from David.
Okay, so ordinarily, we actually have 2 hours for the class actually. So, but this one I was not thinking this would get long because this is an introductory class. So I was thinking this would be maybe within an hour, an hour. And so, but whenever you attend the classes, like the sessions on Friday and Saturday, just have in your mind that, okay, I'm sitting down 2 hours for this class. Do you get? Did you get what I said?
Yeah, I get what you said. Yeah, I get it.
And just basically that. So, but it will depend on, you should not exceed that 2 hour mark actually. So it will depend on what is being talked about, what is being discussed and that. But regardless of that, we'll always still try as much as possible to save time, because we know that first of all, it's night, people are busy with their schedules. And even apart from that, people just basically want to just do fast and go home. You understand? So, but the 2 hour mark is just the maximum that we are looking at. You get?
Yeah, I get. Thank you. I get.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Victor, you're raising your hand.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, my question boils down on the timetable. Like,
on the what?
On the timetable, sir. The timetable.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw 7th, week 1, 5th, and 7th. Then we quiz 14th and 15th. I think I need some explanation.
I didn't hear you clearly, sorry.
Okay, I said,
yeah.
The timetable. I need more clarification on the timetable. Because what I'm seeing here is with 14th and 15th of this month. I want to know, how is it like? Hello, can you hear me clearly? Hello?
We can hear you clearly. Just ask your question.
What I said.
Hello, Victor.
I think you can type it out, Victor, because you can't hear you clearly.
If you can't speak, please just type it out. Just type it out.
Okay.
So please, we have 3 more people. We have 4 more people. That is Victor, Kesiena, Alison, and Ogechi. So it's already past 9. So I just want us to take these 4 questions. Then if any person has any other question, you could message me on Discord, or you could ask on the Discord web development channel, then tag me to it and I'll respond. So we just save each other's times. Do you guys understand? Yeah.
Yeah,
All
sure,
right,
sure.
So Victor Layade, please ask your question next.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my question borders on this thing data. What if this thing we are in this thing in the class as on we are this thing in the class and our data finish, we will still be Malcolm present now for this thing absent. Because this thing presently now, as I'm talking to you, talking to you now, I only have this thing less than this thing 100 MB. Do you get my question? Hello.
Sorry, your question was about attendance. Attendance.
Yes, attendance.
That's if your data finishes during the meeting.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what I would say about that because it's we looked at, but I don't think it's something you should worry about. So, but let's just leave that for now. Some other day we will look into that, or whenever that issue arises, you could just message me.
All
so,
right.
Kesiena, let's go next, please.
All right. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Mine is not a question, it's maybe a suggestion, because most of us are new to this web development or programming of a team. So I don't know where some people questions are coming from. I don't understand most of the language they use. So I don't know if you can just stick to the basics for us for now.
Okay, Kesiena, yeah. Sorry, what is your confusion particularly?
Some people were asking some questions about JavaScript and things I don't even know about them. Like I'm new to this whole thing entirely. So I don't know if you can just stick to the basics for now so that we can follow up till we get to that level that those people are already.
Okay. Kesiena, calm down. So now JavaScript basically it's not like I was here when he asked the question. He just asked, these are things that we can know from just Googling about development in general. Now, like your facilitator Moshe said, is that when that guy asked if he can learn HTML, CSS, and if he can jump either HTML, CSS, and jump to JavaScript. Yes, that was the guy, ba?
Yeah.
So the thing now, he did not particularly say that he knows all of those things. He was just asking a suggestion. So he's not trying to put pressure on you guys. First of all, if you were at the last meeting, we said, I said that this is not a sprint race. This is a marathon. It is something that you are going to go and learn. You keep on learning and keep on improving yourself. And by it being a marathon, you're also not a competition with anybody. Now that particular question he asked, is not trying to imply that he has done very, very far. These are some things you can just know. Those are things you can just know by just Googling and reading and watching YouTube videos. I don't know if you understand.
I understand.
So, but now, even in this upskill program, we are like, if you remember on the first meeting when Ezra spoke, Ezra said that you should not expect that. So I think that was Precious, not Ezra, sorry. That you should not be expected to be spoon-fed. You get? So some things are expected of you that you should just know them as per. If you have interest in this particular thing you want to do, like just try and take out your time and just, okay, let me see other views about this particular thing. I don't know if you understand. Like me now, if I'm into product design, I could just go online and browse and maybe say, check ChatGPT. What do I need to know to be a good beginner at product design? You get? So they're not necessarily putting you out or putting you at a forefront, but having that kind of foundational knowledge or just having an idea, you get, is going to be advantageous. You get? So I would advise you to just, not that you should just be worried about people being ahead of you. No. What I will advise you is instead that you should see it more as an encouragement. When you hear something that you are surprised about, okay, like for example, you heard about JavaScript, about CSS, about HTML today, and you don't know what they're about, you could just use ChatGPT. Why I'm suggesting ChatGPT because I'm using ChatGPT.
I wrote them down.
Exactly, that is good. So just go online, browse them, and these are things that are not really like, it's not really like a technical coding thing. It's just something that you should just know for knowing sake. I don't know if you understand.
I understand.
So don't be worried about stuff like that. And as regards people being way ahead, we are always going to try to bring everybody together and put them at the same level, regardless of where anything is. And regardless of how you feel, you can always ask questions. Now, this kind of thing is not just directed to your mentors and facilitators. You can also ask people that are with you on this program. That is why I believe many of you joined WhatsApp groups where you can learn. You get, people open WhatsApp for people in Port Harcourt, Enugu, and the rest. So the thing about growing is that it's way more better actually to grow with someone that you're on the same level with. So whenever you are confused, ask questions. Or first of all, Google or ask ChatGPT. But second, ask questions. Interact with people, you would learn that way. So don't worry about that. Whenever we see anybody take a topic and go too far ahead, we'll bring the person back. I can assure you on that.
All right, thank
so
you
did I
very
answer
much.
the question? Yeah, no problem. So Ogechi, please, you could go next.
Okay, sorry, hold on, Ogechi. Just to add to what Edozie said, the person that asked that question now, it means he has really done his researches and know the things needed to do this web developments, right? So you just needed clarification. That was why I asked if you have any question or clarification for me to clear you, right? So he asked for clarification, which I believe I put him through, okay? So don't see it as intimidation or maybe he's knowing too much. He just a research he made and wanted to know better, or that he knows everything or he knows way better than you, okay? So just like he said, you have to do more research on your own, then come with your questions. We also clarify you. All right, go ahead, Ogechi.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to know if there will be like certification at the end of the course, the training.
Okay, Chedos, I don't know if you can answer that.
Ogechi, someone that asked this question in one of the meetings before. I don't know. We could talk about this later. Someone had asked about this meeting before. And Goodness replied the person. Can you guys confirm this? So I don't want to be sure because I can't remember the actual reply Goodness asked gave. I'm sure someone asked it before, but
yes, there will be certification.
What did she say? That there will be certification?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a reply because I'm sure someone had asked this question before. All right, now, so let's go to Victor. Oh, okay, are you done with your?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let's go to Victor. Victor Anyama.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Victor.
My question actually is based on I heard or I saw somebody saying something about attendance, like, please, when are they going to release the attendance? And I'm like, for the past 2 days, or okay, the last time we were here, I was like, did they release anything like attendance? I was thinking to myself, is it not the duty of the host here or the admin here to do that? Like, is there a way they do the attendance of a team that we don't know? That's my question.
Okay, Victor, you don't need to worry about the attendance. What you need to worry about is that you attend. So you remember why we are doing this, please. Victor, please mute your mic so you can hear me clearly. Okay, let me just mute it for you. Okay. So why we are principally doing, we're not trying to do this to punish people, because the idea we have is that everyone is an adult and they can take care of themselves. But we want the kind of accountability whereby you're not just in the program and you're allowing the program to pass through you. I don't know if you understand. We want a situation whereby you're also attending the classes. And we know how this thing works. We are Nigerians, and sometimes people do not just have that whole common sense to do things right until they are forced. You get, so regardless of what the attendance or whatever repercussions would be for not attending the class, please, we are asking and we are begging. You have persons that have applied to this program. You know what you want to get out of the program. So please, let's just take it serious and attend the classes. If you attend all the classes, you will not be worried about attendance at all. So I don't know if this is enough sense to you. Victor?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Like I heard it clearly. Thank you.
Okay, so Alison was the last person we are going to ask. I don't know how other people are raising up there. And I counted 6 people, and Alison was the last person. So Nwachukwu, Ozioma, and Ifeji 4 and Joanne. And if I'm raising up his hand right now. So please, we'll stop at Alison. Any other question you guys have, please. I said ask on Discord. I would answer you promptly. I am almost always on my laptop. I would answer you promptly, but because of the time, we would stop at Alison, please. So Alison, please ask your question.
All right, good evening all. Basically, most of my questions have been answered, but there is a particular one that I think it hasn't been cleared yet. For instance, today, there is a network clash in my locality, the REN, and it made me come up late for the class anyway. So I want to know if there is any kind of substitute or something to complement for those that were unavoidably absent for the class or that were late for the class. Because for example, as the other person asked, I don't know anything basically about web development. I don't know. But as you've given him the answer, at least I will also go and find out on my own what is involved too. But my own point is there anything to complement people that are absent for the day, or maybe the weather condition is not favorable for them, then they couldn't join the class, or they were late for the class? If there is any, how do we go about it? If there is none, how do we complement or substitute those days, or those hours or the day that has been missed? Or sometimes, for example, my work can keep me up till 10 p.m. So you said that it's basically for 2 hours. So from 8 to 10 is 2 hours. Likely for that day, I may be off. Just that today is only holiday. So I'm on.
Okay, so Alison, thank you for your question. Good evening. So we are currently recording the session, and we'll make when we are done everything we need to know about it, we'll make the recording available to you. You understand? So, but apart from that, this is just a side advice. My formal approach to this is that the session will record it, you get. But what I'll advise you, because of you want to get the best out of this program, is now, like this, when you miss a meeting. Now, attending a class is different from watching the class later on. It does not feel the same, you get. If you watch the class later on, fine, that is good, it might help you. But I also advise that you should also ask people questions. People are in the class, ask them to explain things to you, because most of the time when you watch those videos or recorded session of the class, you might miss something. I don't know if you are getting me.
Yeah, copy.
So that is just that. So that is why I liked when you guys were creating WhatsApp groups to support each other, help each other, and be accountable to each other. So make good use of those WhatsApp groups. Those WhatsApp groups are what you guys is going to help you. It's going to help you, please. So I think that listening question is the last question we have I've taken for today. So for Ozioma Salome and George Chime, please, you can ask me any question on the Discord channel. I will be happy to reply. I will be happy to, and it will be in public, so there will not be, every other person can take correction or see what you're asking about to get. So, but because of time, we have exceeded the amount of time we were thinking, because we were thinking we were going to end by 9, since this was just an introductory section, but it's 9:15 yet. So I don't think we can take any other further questions now yet. But if you have any other questions, please send me a message on I don't know why I keep on mistakenly saying Slack, on Discord, on the Discord channel. That is web development, either web development, no, not web development announcement, sorry, just the web development channel, or on in my DM. My name is just Edozie on the Discord server, or you could just simply look at the high table and you see my name there. I'm the one with, I think, sunglasses in my bio or something. So just simply that. So we have come to the end of today's session, and I'm very, very grateful for you guys staying to the end. Wow, some people have already left, because I know before it was 180 something participants. Now it's just 144. So thank you all, and I do hope you have a good night and you have a good weekend. That is Easter next week, sorry, on Sunday. So see you all tomorrow for your next class. Take care. Last to leave the meeting is the lizard.
Thank you.
Last person that I'll leave here. I'll announce the person on the web development channel. Yeah, they are running away.
Please, at the Coco, hope there's no assignment.